I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, man. Okay. Ooh. All this disgusting hair in my face. This is my review for The Room. The best, worst movie ever made. I'm actually surprised that it's taken me this long to actually review The Room, but with The Disaster Artist coming out soon and me having just done an early review for it, perfect timing. Because there's a big uprising in The Room coming out right now. Now's the best time to review the movie. And basically, if you thought Batman and Robin was a piece of shit, you don't know pieces of shit until you've watched The Room. The Room is that movie, one of those rare accidents where you watch a movie and you can't believe what's going on the screen. You watch it and go, oh my god, this is terrible. But I can't look away. I have to keep watching this movie to see where it's going. This is beautiful right here. Okay, what's The Room about? It stars Tommy Wiseau as Johnny, and Tommy Wiseau is also the writer, producer, and director of the movie. And he is a banker living in San Francisco with his fiancée, or his future wife, huh? Lisa. Lisa is played by Juliette Danielle, and Johnny also has his best friend, Mark, played by Greg Sestero. Lisa suddenly starts becoming bored with her life with Johnny, and then she starts having an affair with Mark. And the whole movie is them trying to keep it a secret from each other until things just go south completely. And then we also have Denny, this weird, creepy kid whose age is not really clarified, who basically is a surrogate son for Johnny. We have Claudette, who is Lisa's mom. We have Michael and Michelle, two of Lisa's friends. We have Peter, who is a psychologist. And then we have whoever this discount Mark Ruffalo is. But to be honest, the plot is just the least of your concerns with this movie. This thing is just a beautiful mess left and right. When I did my review for The Disaster Artist, I pretty much talked about how it was a behind-the-scenes thing. I offered some details on certain scenes, but for this movie, I want to talk about The Room itself. And in order for me to really start talking about it, I have to go into how I first saw The Room, because everyone has their first Room story. The most famous story that you'll hear from people who've seen The Room is that they were watching it on Adult Swim on April Fools. Adult Swim ran The Room over and over again all day. People thought it was a joke. They were wondering what the hell is this? Is this a Tim and Eric sketch? People were just so amazed at how bad this was. My first story actually comes from the Nostalgia Critic. I'm a big fan of the Nostalgia Critic, and when he reviewed The Room, I was just watching it going, what the fuck is this? This looks like the worst thing in the world. I have to see it. And it's weird that I wouldn't really know about The Room until the Nostalgia Critics review in 2010, because I live in LA, and that billboard of The Room has been on Highland for 5 years, so I don't know exactly how I missed it. But anyway, I eventually started looking up more info on The Room. I found out about these midnight screenings. And 1 year later, in 2011, the summer of 2011, my brother, my brother's friend, and my dad went to go see The Room. And it was an experience that I will never forget. There is so much wrong with this movie. The acting is ungodly atrocious. Tommy Wiseau is probably the worst actor in the world. At the same time, he's not bland or just boring or uninteresting. He just doesn't know how to speak properly. He doesn't know how to deliver lines very well, but it's so beautiful. You can't take your eyes off how bad he is as an actor. And as a director and writer, he's also terrible. I literally just came back from a special Room screening, and it was different from all the other Room screenings that I've been to. Those are usually at midnight, but this one was at 7:30, and most of the people had never seen the movie, so it was mostly kind of quiet. And given that not many people were talking throughout the whole movie, they were, but because there were a lot of points of silence, I ended up focusing on the movie. And when you listen to all the dialogue, you can tell immediately that it comes from Tommy Wiseau, and all the actors deliver it as if Tommy Wiseau is talking. You know how when you watch a Woody Allen movie, when Woody Allen is not the lead guy but someone else is, he'll make whoever's playing the lead character himself. Basically, like, Owen Wilson plays Woody Allen. Jesse Eisenberg plays Woody Allen. And with The Room, it seems like everyone has been possessed by the spirit of Tommy Wiseau because they all deliver the lines the same way. They all speak the same way as Tommy Wiseau. And that might also have to do with the fact that Tommy Wiseau is the director, and a shitty one at that. And there are just a lot of weird, mysterious details throughout the whole movie. There are scenes where characters come into Johnny's apartment and then leave soon afterwards. For some reason, Johnny and Lisa have spoons framed all over their house in pictures. It's never commented on. It's never brought up. There are long, awkward establishing shots of San Francisco. It is just a beautiful wreck to watch. And then you have some really iconic and quotable scenes. One of the big scenes is in the flower shop. Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please? Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Here you go. That's me. How much is it? That'll be $18. Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy. You're my favorite customer. Thanks a lot. Bye. There's that. There's the infamous rooftop scene that I did beforehand. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hey, Johnny. What's up? I have a problem with Lisa. She says that I hit her. What? Well, did you? No, it's not true. Don't even ask. What's new with you? I'm just sitting up here thinking, you know. Like, the dialogue is just so atrocious. And the funny thing is, whenever Johnny is speaking to someone, he tries to sound all philosophical, like he has the answers to everything, that he's super knowledgeable. And it's so unintentionally funny. And that's what this whole movie is. From beginning to end, it's unintentionally funny. Oh, and then I also can't go without the famous, "You're lying, I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa!" Whenever you go to a midnight screening, everyone quotes that line, everyone cheers for it. I mean, we all know it came from James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause. I don't need to go any further than that. Like, the lines just speak for themselves. And then another element of the movie is probably the most awkward, prolonged, overdrawn sex scenes you will ever see in any movie. They are sex scenes, and there are parts of nudity that will not turn you on at all. And it's just, I mean, there is just so much to talk about this movie, but the best way to experience it is to go to one of these midnight screenings. The only way I can really talk about the movie is talk about my favorite moments, talk about the weird, unexplained situations or filmmaking choices. But other than that, me talking about the movie is simply not going to cut it. You just have to go see it to believe it. Now, this is where things get really weird for me, because I'm going to give it 2 ratings, but I'm going to give it the 2 ratings that couldn't be any farther from each other. From a filmmaking perspective, by looking at this as a feature film in terms of writing, acting, directing, camera work, storytelling, this movie can go burn in hell. It is truly atrocious. But for being the new Rocky Horror Picture Show and something that you have to see with a crowd at a midnight screening, get off your ass and go see it right now. This is the first movie I reviewed that's gotten my highest rating and my lowest rating. Again, me talking about The Room in detail can't sum it up. You have to go see it to believe it. Now, for these midnight screenings, there are a few certain things that people pick up on that are tradition for The Room. One of the most famous ones is whenever you see the framed spoons all over the place, people bring in plastic spoons, shout out, "Spoon!" and start throwing it at the screen. It's beautiful. Like, people show up with so many spoons, and you'll just collect more spoons for future scenes just from the spoons that have fallen on you. It's that, again, I use this word a lot, but it's so beautiful. And then there's the very first scene where Mark comes into Johnny's apartment and Lisa is seducing him. And then he goes, I mean, the candles, the music, sexy dress. What's going on here? And throughout the whole thing, it's like, I mean, the candles. What candles? The music. What music? Sexy dress. What sexy dress? Those are the 2 biggest things that I'll say outside of, like, quoting famous lines in the movie. But everything else, you just kind of have to go in there with no knowledge. Those 3 elements, quoting the movie, what candles, what music, what sexy dress, and throwing spoons at the screen are the only things I'm going to say if you go see The Room at midnight. Because there are two things in these midnight screenings that are like the secret weapon. Whenever people do these things, if they do them, they get the biggest laugh. And they also represent another point of how does this movie exist in terms of how shitty it is. So, yeah, The Room. I've said enough. Go watch it. Go find a midnight screening of it. You will not regret it. I swear. It's going to be the best experience you've ever had in a movie theater. Now, next week in terms of retro reviews, I'm going back to a galaxy far, far away and talk about the Star Wars special editions. That's something I didn't talk about when The Force Awakens came out, when I reviewed the original trilogy. Now, with The Last Jedi coming out, now's the perfect time to talk about the special editions and my personal thoughts. Now, I'm just going to close out the video with my Tommy Wiseau impression. So until next week, I hope you'll enjoy it. Leave a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are on The Room, if and when you've seen it. And as always, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one. Ha 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 ha. What a story, Mark. Alright, I'm getting this wig off me. Like, I loved wearing this wig, but sometimes it's a little too much. See you guys.